Welcome to this episode of The More You Know, a series of short videos produced by the Pennsylvania Link to Aging and Disability Resource Service Area 13 partners. Service Area 13 consists of Berks, Lancaster, and Lebanon counties, and it's one of the 15 areas across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that exist to provide long-term living solutions and resources for persons aged 60 and over, persons with a disability, veterans, family members, and caregivers. My name is Margie Degler Pizarro, your host for this series. I am a geriatric and palliative care nurse practitioner who is passionate for abundant living and aging. The Pennsylvania Link to Aging and Disability Resources is part of a nationwide initiative developed to take a seamless approach in the way that we are able to assist seniors and adults with disabilities who need help with activities of daily living. When you need long-term information about long-term living or assistance, call the PA Link to Aging and Disability Resource Center toll-free number at 1-800-753-8827. The title of today's episode is Getting to Know Seniors Blue Book of South Central PA. And with me today is my guest, the publisher, Cynthia Gartman. And as always, the purpose for today's interview is to bring a renewed awareness of this publication and to discuss it in detail so that all service providers, as well as the people that we serve, have reliable, up-to-date information. So I want to thank you so much, Cynthia, for joining me today. If I was to ask you to sum up in a couple of sentences before we expand how this publication can help the people in need of it, what would you tell me?
So our guide covers all sorts of resources for seniors, for caregivers, family members, and professionals that serve the senior care market in South Central PA. We cover 8 core counties and have 2 more counties that have been added on recently with some limited information. So your core 3 counties, Lancaster, Lebanon, Berks counties, we primarily service Lancaster and Lebanon. Berks is one of our new add-on counties, as is Chester County. But in addition to those 4, we cover York, Adams, Franklin, Cumberland, Dauphin counties as well. So that's a big footprint and a lot of information.
Wow, that surely is. So if you can expound on the benefits of the publication,
Sure.
Who it would best serve, the requirements for anyone receiving it or who might want to advertise in it, or any barriers to being able to receive it either in hand, physically, or online. Could you share those things with me, please?
Absolutely. So our guide is free. That's the first big thing. It's available to anyone in those counties. If there are adult children or caregiver proxies or something, kind of like what you do sometimes as a nurse, geriatric practitioner, they can actually access our guide online as well. So there is a physical book that is released every 6 months. And that same book is online as well. So there's no barriers as far as getting to the data from an electronic standpoint. From a personal standpoint, we deliver guides throughout our core 8 counties, and we do some limited distribution inside Berks County as well as Chester counties. Our deliveries are free. There's no cost to anyone for any part of that. Our guides are also available at all Weiss pharmacies. So anyone can walk into a Weiss pharmacy and go ask the pharmacist or their staff, can I have a copy of Seniors Blue Book? And they will hand you one. Otherwise, they can email us at info-pa@seniorswithansbluebook.com. And that email will come directly into our office. They can go to our website. They can call our office, which is 717-344-5580, and ask for your copies. There's just a host of ways. In addition, we work with every single healthcare system inside our core counties, plus in Berks County with Penn State Health. So for the most part, you can walk into family medical care, PCP offices, primary care physician offices. They will typically have copies, things like that. So there's a host of ways that people can get their hands on the book. I would love to talk about what's inside the book, if that would be okay.
I was hoping you would, because when I went online to look, I was so impressed with all the different categories and all the information in each category. So please, yes.
Okay, awesome. So our guides are digest size. So like the Reader's Digest that you can remember, our new guide that's coming out next week is about 220 pages or so. So a lot of information. I have a lot of fun with this, and I've learned how to do this fairly well on camera since we've all been virtual because of the pandemic. If you fold over the book, you can see colors that pop. So blue tip pages are called resource pages. These purple tip pages, which are a little harder to see in the middle, are health at home pages. And these green tip pages are housing pages. So one of the things that really sets Seniors Blue Book apart is that we're considered authoritative publishing and we're considered educational publishing. It's kind of that really sweet spot inside publishing, because if you're going to present healthcare information, you want to make sure that you're getting it from a good source that's reputable. So every one of the health at home companies, every one of the senior housing companies that are listed in here update their data every 6 months. And so it's not our data, it's the data coming directly from those providers. So I'll give you a quick glimpse of what that might look like. So here is a typical grid. This happens to be non-medical care, and I realize you can't read all the sections, but when I go a little closer, maybe you can. So you can see that there's the minimum hours of visit, how they get paid, the types of care that they give, and things like that. And every one of those lines is a different company. In our area in South Central PA, we have, I think, 400 non-medical care companies. It's a lot. Obviously, a lot fewer home health and even fewer hospice companies, but still all of their data is contained in here. And it gives you information like, for a home health company, do they do cardiac care? Do they provide resources or education about cancer care, things like that? When we go back to that educational component, every one of our grid sections starts with definitions. For folks that have been in senior care like you and I for a really long time, it's easy for us to say, oh, we know what a CNA is, a certified nursing assistant. But the general public doesn't have that knowledge that we have. And so when you look in front of non-medical care, you can see that there is a certified nursing assistant definition there. When you go to home health, you can actually see that there's a definition called Wonder Guard and what that might mean for folks if they're trying to figure it out. Also has something, like trach care. When you go in front of the housing section, it describes the difference between what is a personal care home and what's assisted living. Pennsylvania is the only state to have a dual licensure in those categories. And everybody thinks it's all assisted living, but it's not. So those are the kinds of things that we try to help folks with. That front resource section of the book has everything from maybe adult day services, or where the libraries are, where the driver's license offices are, where are food resources available in the county. So there's just a host of information. All the senior centers are listed. So it really doesn't matter what you're trying to get to. We likely have some answers in the book that's going to make somebody's life better. Whether it's me, an adult child is what my term is, because my mom lives in the cottage next door to my house, and my dad is in personal care, memory care up in Harrisburg. So my title is an adult child. I live this every single day. And I know you and I, Margie, talked about, the folks with that geriatric type of background. And one of our main goals in life and I speak for both of us here, is we want people to be educated and we want them to have the data. We want them to be empowered. So whatever we can do to help in that respect is really important to us. We also have a free referral line. Now we work with PA Link, we work with 211 in every single county, and they are great resource places. And we have resource line as well that they can call our office and we can try to get them in touch with that right best placement or best information for whatever the needs that they have at that time. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
That is a great overview. And we were talking too, it is excellent that this is updated every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And you were sharing that the spring summer catalog publication is about to come out. It's already online.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to come out to be in people's hands. And so
Yep.
When can they expect to see that?
We physically will be accepting the delivery at our warehouse next, let's just say early May of 2021, because we don't know when people might see this, but they do come out every 6 months. So you don't have to, only one edition have we actually run out of books. So we try to make sure that we have enough books to get us through to that next printing. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we were still making deliveries to healthcare locations when everything was shut down. We were still delivering to the hospitals. We were still delivering to skilled nursing facilities, doctors' offices, and things like that. So our life keeps going to support the community.
And an excellent resource. So one more time, if people are looking at this and saying, I need to get my hands on a copy of this, what's the quickest, best way for them to be able to reach out to you to do that?
So 2 ways I would say. Number one, if they've got a Weiss grocery store with a Weiss pharmacy inside, that's probably the easiest way. Go to that Weiss pharmacy. We're in about 50% of the CVS pharmacies in the area as well. Otherwise, emailing us at pa.info. I said that wrong, pa-info at seniorswithansbluebook.com, or calling our office at 717-344-5580. Any of those will work.
Terrific, terrific. Cynthia, thank you so much for this excellent presentation to share The More You Know by the Pennsylvania Link to Aging and Disability Resource Service Area 13 Partners Network. My name is Margie Degler-Pizarro. Thank you for joining us today. Be well, and remember, when you need long-term information or assistance, do call the PA Link to Aging and Disability Resource Center toll-free hotline at 1-800-753-8827. Be well, come back.